Okay, now let's say we have a fully expanded equation here, and we want to know how to graph this thing. First thing I want you to notice is that I have a positive x squared term and I have a positive y squared term. That is indicating that we are dealing with an ellipse here. So notice it's not a circle because the coefficient 9 on the x and the coefficient 4 on the y are different numbers. If it were a circle, those coefficients would have to be the same. So I know this is an ellipse just by looking at its equation fully expanded like this. But in order to make it factored, I need to complete the squares. So I need to complete the squares on x and I need to complete the squares on y. So the first thing I'm going to do to complete the squares, I'm going to factor out the coefficient on my x squared term. So factor out the 9, so I'll get x squared plus, factor out the 9 from the 18 to get 2x. Check it, 9 times 2 is 18. And I could go ahead and do the same thing with y here. Factor out the 4 from the y squared. Factor out the 4 from the 16 to leave a minus 4y right there. And let's go ahead and add that 11 to the other side. All right, now at this point, now that it's factored, go ahead and complete the square. X plus what number squared? Well, again, half of that now that it's been factored. So half of 2 is 1 plus, let's do the same thing to y. Y something squared, what's that something? Well, it's half of that minus 4, so minus 2 equals that 11, but now I have to balance. I have to add 1 squared from that 1 right there times 9 times that coefficient out front. And similarly, I have to add here 2 squared times that coefficient of 4 to balance it. So now let's simplify that right side. 1 squared times 9, so let's see what we got. We have 11 plus 1 squared times 9 is just 9, plus 2 squared is 4 times 4 is 16. So add that all up, what do you get? Well, 11 plus 9 is 20, plus 16 is 36. So at this stage of the game, my equation looks like this. But remember, in order for this to be in proper form, I want the right side to equal 1. So I have to divide everything by 36. So in my first fraction, I'll be left with my x plus 1 squared in the top. But how do I find that denominator? Well, what's 36 divided by 9? I know it says 9 over 36, but what's 36 divided by 9? It's 4, so it's going to leave a power of 4 in the bottom there. And I can do the same thing with my y term. What's 36 divided by 4? It's 9, so I get my 9 right there. And I have my equation fully factored, just like I wanted it. If you want, you could write that 4 as a 2 squared, and you could write that 9 as a 3 squared to see that this is going to be a vertical ellipse because the larger denominator is with y, so it's going to be going up and down. Its center is going to be at -1, +2. It's going to go up 3 and down 3 from there, and it's going to go right 2 and left 2 from there. And that's what you got.